And welcome back to the next segment of the 50-50 show. This is Omar. As always, this is Omair. This time we're going to be talking about the Mavs upsetting the OKC Thunder last night. The Dallas Mavericks won 121 to 115 in an upset in a game that had a spread of 12. Kyrie Irving, 28 points. PJ Washington, 22 and 19. Spencer Dinwiddie, 28 points. Obviously a great game from the Dallas Mavericks side. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams leading OKC Thunder from that end. Omair, what do you make of this loss? And then specifically, with the success the Dallas Mavericks have had while waiting for Luka to come back, do you think they're going to make it to the conference finals this year? Are they a top two team in the league, in the West? Where do you come down on their championship hopes this year?
I thought you were about to ask me if they were going to make the NBA Finals. If the question is conference finals, that's a resounding yes.
No, NBA Finals.
NBA Finals, I'll say yes to that too. But conference finals is a definite. NBA Finals, I'm confident. Here's why. First, let's talk about PJ Washington. Me being a Mavs fan, I understood the importance to the team last year in that playoff run, especially in that Oklahoma City series. You could really see the value PJ Washington was bringing to the team. With Luka being out, even the more casual fan now understands its importance. I'm first going to talk about offense, then we'll also talk about defense. He's absolutely a dominant two-way player, especially when Luka's not playing. The ball is in his hands more. He can showcase his offensive abilities, and therefore the casual fan will better understand him. I've talked about it. His floater game, phenomenal. And then last night, we also saw his ability to get to the rim and finish properly like a real star, going into anyone's chest, not being scared, driving well, some back down game, some post-ups. This in general, just a strong interior game from PJ Washington, which makes sense. He's quite strong with the 19 rebounds. He just, in general, is a physically pretty dominant player while having the finesse and skill for things like floaters and hook shots. So it's a great combination, deadly. And on the defense side, he played great defense. It was like SGA, J-Dub, didn't matter. He was doing his best to stay in front of them. One thing I will note, and this is why absolutely my point is contingent on a healthy Luka Doncic. Because I'm not one of those Luka haters like, oh, they're better without Luka, which is a crazy take. If you think that, you're crazy. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. But PJ Washington, he had 5 turnovers, which is not great. You know, as we know with Cade Cunningham, turnovers can really kill a team. And so it didn't matter this game because the Mavs were firing on all cylinders. Great performance from, multiple players. But those 5 turnovers definitely could have been a game changer, which is when I like when Luka comes back, the ball being in his hands more.
So he can have 5 turnovers.
No, well, that's the thing. Even though he may not be the most secure ball handler, he gets those turnovers going for high-risk, high-reward plays. While someone like Washington, he might just get the ball stripped because he's just not the most adept ball handler. So, Luka and his turnover woes, if he has them, I don't care because it's really going to be high-risk, high-reward plays. If he doesn't have them, well, it's because he's one of the best players in the NBA. He knows how to take care of the ball. Then, looking at Dinwiddie, so for me, I like Dinwiddie, but the level of play we saw last night, I definitely think was not normal. It was above his average. We won't be seeing that every night, but I want to shout him out because he did play really well. Just absolutely playing like a shooting guard, just putting points up. Great performance from him overall. Kyrie, I really loved the game last night. 4 of 8 from 3 was phenomenal, and I just liked that right now the way the Mavs are running, Kyrie didn't have to be like a proper quote unquote first option. You know how Luka was before Kyrie joined the team. He very much split the responsibilities with Dinwiddie and PJ Washington. Sometimes Dinwiddie's bringing the ball up. Sometimes Washington's bringing the ball up. Their sets are being ran for them. Plays are being ran for them. Not everything's running through Kyrie. So then, the ball swinging to Kyrie, he got the green light to do what Kyrie does best. And so that was just great to see. And then finally for the Mavs, and I keep going, and that's really why I think they can go to the finals, is Daniel Gafford. Of course, everyone should know him as being just a lob threat, just catcher of Luka Doncic lobs, but his defense is incredibly underrated. He's really good at defense, and not just his rim defense of being tall and long. He's also incredibly nimble and quick. And last night, I saw him take SGA, right, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, some people's NBA MVP, from the perimeter, keep up with him, and swat his layup into the stands. That was just mind-blowing for me.
Fourth quarter off a screen, too.
Exactly. It was pick and roll. When most big men, like maybe Rudy Gobert for one, look stupid playing
Gobert with stuff though.
Playing pick and roll against some of the best offensive talent, not Gafford. He kept up with him, and he just showed why he's such a great defender. So that's for me, seeing this all-around performance where every role player and even Kyrie, the second option, their best attributes were showcased last night. So I think even more the casual fans should now understand why I believe they can make it to the finals, because their roster is actually well constructed. This is a rare W for the Mavericks front office. It's really loving what I'm seeing with the team. Last year, obviously, they made it to the finals. They're running it back with the same roster. I see no reason why they can't do well, especially when it seems like these players, like the cohesion, the chemistry is only improving. With Luka being out, they're not faltering, they're not crumbling, they're finding a way to get wins, which I really like to see. And my final point is the Mavericks defense. They were able to keep up with the Oklahoma City Thunder's small ball lineup. I believe Hart was out, I think.
Yeah, he was
and
out.
Then obviously we know Chet. OKC trends towards that small ball lineup, which some teams are really vulnerable to, but not the Mavericks. They kept up. And mind you, this is without Derek Lively. Okay, so we had Derek Lively back. The defense gets even better. Small ball lineup, no way. No problem. We'll keep up. You got more bigger, longer, stronger. Okay, well, Lively should be back. We're going to be able to handle that as well. So I'm feeling great about the Mavericks defense and offense. And this is without Luka, mind you. So when Luka comes back, I have him as a top 5 player in the NBA. Don't at me. So I think the Mavs will be, they're in a great situation.
Man, okay. Well, I think the first thing I want to get off my chest about this game before I even address that question from the OKC side, J-Dubs, better efficiency than Shea, same number of assists, 7, and 3 steals.
Still worse than
or
Sabonis.
4 steals.
Worse than Sabonis.
And same amount of turnovers. So this was really important to me because J-Dub, remember, they just played against Dallas maybe a week ago. They had no Shea and they lost. And people like you were trying to put a lot of the blame on J-Dub. And even I had to admit, like, wow, that was a stinker.
Bad game.
That was a stinker of a game. This game, I was talking about this last time we did a segment on that, though. When he has a first option, J-Dub is a great second option because he outperformed his first option. Like, when the pressure was...
like Jaylen Brown. Very Jaylen Brown of him.
He is what people think Jaylen Brown is. Yeah, and what Jaylen Brown does in the playoffs... more so. J-Dub does that in the regular season and the playoffs. So
less so in the playoffs.
So this game was close because J-Dub kept them there. Now, let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks in this game, and then I'll talk about their future hopes. This game was just variance. They just got lucky. And I'm talking as a guy.
A hater.
The spread was 12. I had Dallas plus 12. I had Dallas losing this game by 7 on average, right? So obviously I disagreed heavily with the market, but the win is still a major upset no matter how you slice it. Daniel Gafford, almost perfect from the field. PJ Washington, 22 and 19. Yeah, and 3 steals and 2 blocks. He usually does well versus OKC, but this is maybe his best performance to date, excluding playoffs just because of the pressure, right? Dallas had 7 more turnovers. It was 20-13, but the sheer amount of rebounds PJ Washington got was able to make up for it. And then I look at Kyrie, 4 of 8 from 3, and then I think the biggest thing that you didn't really touch on at all, I mean, you touched on it a little bit, Spencer Dinwiddie, 28 points, 11 of 14. That's not sustainable at all. The man's line are like 12 points. So they won by 6. Dinwiddie easily scored, 16 above average.
And they had no Luka, though, but no Luka.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying, but that's why they should lose this matchup without Luka is because that was crazy efficiency to put up while PJ's going off, while Kyrie's doing well, while even Prosper off the bench was looking pretty good. Like, the whole team was just firing on all cylinders. And respect to Dallas for getting that done. They even outperformed my expectations of them. But I don't think this game was like OKC didn't struggle. They put up 115. It's just Dallas was supposed to be able to only score like 107, and they scored 121. And I mostly attribute because PJ Washington was only 6 of 16. So while he was killing it in every other way, his efficiency wasn't amazing. Yeah. I really give that to Spencer Dinwiddie. And I'm as high on Spencer Dinwiddie as anybody. I think I was telling you the other day he could take De'Aaron Fox's spot if he had to, right?
Crazy.
So I'm obviously really high on him. But this is unsustainable. This isn't realistic. Much credit to him, much love to him for being able to pull that off. You really need that win to keep you in the standings while you're waiting for Luka to come back. But this doesn't really change anything for me. It just reinforces what I've been saying, what I've been putting my money where my mouth is, that this team without Luka is better than people realize. So that's not really shade on Luka. It's just I feel people in the media, fans, they really think this team is Luka, Kyrie, and then like whatever else, right? Derek Lively wasn't even playing this game. Incredibly elite player that the team will need if they want to make it.
Third best player on this team.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
I could say that.
Maybe people say PJ Washington. I don't agree with that,
debate.
but yeah,
it's definitely a debate.
PJ's good, obviously. So you got PJ's good. You got Lively's good. Kyrie, I've said I think he's the best second option in the league.
He's the second best option.
And he's just an incredible player. I have him pretty much over any player guys would name. I have
no
Kyrie
shame in
over
being
him.
behind the big bodega. No shame.
He's way better than the big bodega, aka Big Purr, aka Big you know what.
Hey yo, what would be a cat hater to a cat glazer?
Hey yo, so then when Luka comes back, it'll be interesting because he wasn't playing very well this season. If you remember, his efficiency was down compared to his entire career. More turnovers than ever. He was looking winded on defense, and you know, this is like he just didn't look like the same. And I'm not gonna say that that's gonna keep happening. If you remember, Wemby was struggling the first month of this season too, and I was the one saying, "Oh, it's just because of the Olympics. You have to chill. You have to give him time." It's just he had that struggle, and then he had those injuries, and now he hasn't played in a hot minute. So I wonder when he comes back how his form is going to be and how he's going to gel back with the team because, like you said, they've been stepping up. They've been getting new, bigger roles ever since Luka's been gone. And this is an extended absence. Like I think he hasn't played in almost a month now. Yeah. So I don't know when he's coming back, but I worry a little about that for their championship run. But to actually get to the heart of this question, will they make it to the NBA Finals? It's a really interesting one because to me, Dallas is not the second best team in the West. Okay, I put someone like the Nuggets over Dallas.
Really?
Especially in the playoffs, especially if Jamal's not gonna do, you know, if he's gonna perform, if he's gonna get back to where he is,
the Nuggets,
right?
They can win it all.
Exactly. So, but I have OKC as the best team, especially if Chet comes back and I expect him to be there. So what happens is Dallas has a really good matchup into OKC. We've seen it this regular season already twice, right?
We saw it last year in the playoffs as well.
Exactly, and then the year before that in the quarterfinals. Kleber is actually no, sorry, I'm thinking of the Minnesota one for Kleber. But PJ Washington obviously really kills versus OKC. Luka does well versus OKC. Kyrie does solid versus OKC. Lively obviously really important. But both these regular season games that we saw this year were without Chet and without iHeart. And what we saw in the playoffs last year was without iHeart. And I think iHeart is actually a really important piece to winning this matchup because, like you said, they struggle versus PJ Washington. They're not great versus Gafford either. Obviously not great versus Lively. So iHeart, being the defensive specialist that you call him, he's really supposed to make up for that. So it's an interesting conundrum because I think OKC will make it to the Western Conference Finals. I have them as the best Western team. And they're right up there with Boston for just being the best team in the league. But if Dallas makes it to the Western Conference Finals, you can argue that that matchup is the best matchup they could have gotten, even though OKC is a better team than a team like Denver, because I don't see Dallas beating Denver.
Yeah, if that matchup occurs, I think Nuggets take that one. Yeah. Especially being a Jokic fan, knowing what Joker can do in the playoffs, it would require some generational, fixing from Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
for the Mavs to win that one.
Because last year Minnesota beat Denver, which was the major upset. And then Minnesota was a good matchup for Dallas. That's what I was referencing a minute ago with Kleber. Kleber allows you to really punish Rudy Gobert, and if Rudy Gobert is not if you're not playing towards his strengths as the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's impossible to win.
What strengths?
And being the best defensive player in the league and holding your boy Ant
being
up.
being exploited in the pick and roll.
It's so funny because I feel like Ant just went 7 of 20 the other day, but you weren't talking about his shooting being exploited. Yeah, you bum. Anyways,
hey, yo.
Let's keep.
We share genetics, so what does that make you?
Half bum, duh.
You're okay with that?
The gluteus maximus is the biggest muscle in a human body.
You tell me to cut off your nose just to spite your face.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I still win. But no, back to this
But
thing.
you have no nose.
I don't think Dallas is making it to the finals. I think the only hope Dallas fans have is that your matchup versus OKC is really good and you can upset that series. But I believe with iHeart and Chet on the floor, which they both are projected to be back easily by the playoffs, I have OKC winning that matchup, and therefore I have OKC winning pretty much every matchup in the league. Obviously, Denver, you never know. Jokic could go crazy, but I think they know how to beat Denver. They know how to let Jokic just go crazy, shut everyone else down with their amazing team defense, and they can win that matchup. So for me, no, Dallas is not making it to the NBA Finals. I'm not even sure they're making it to the conference finals because if they run into Denver early, then they're in trouble.
The West is a bit of a matchup. Roulette.
Exactly, which one you draw.
If the Mavericks see the Nuggets early, then yeah. I should have mentioned that in my discussion. I think the Nuggets are the biggest X factor because obviously we say Thunder is the best team in the West. The standings, corroborate that. But the Nuggets, where I don't care where they're seated, if you see them in the playoffs, you need to be scared.
No, for sure. I'm not saying it just off standings, just player evaluation for me. Jokic is the best player in the league, in the entire league.
He's the most valuable player.
But Jamal, just the whole supporting cast of that Denver team is suspicious. Besides MPJ and Aaron Gordon, you know how I feel about the Denver bench. But not to get
Beastbrook. They got Beastbrook this year.
Not to get too distracted. My final answer is that impressive win today by Dallas, or last night, I should say. Dinwiddie, I've been high on him. I hope this showed some people how good offensively he can be. But obviously that wasn't sustainable offense. I thought OKC played fine. Jalen Williams played better than Shea, but both were fine. I didn't think anyone was like embarrassingly bad or should get a lot of blame or anything like that. Dallas just overperformed and they won. Much credit to them. But even with Luka back, I have them about the fourth or third best in the West. Maybe I could even argue second, but I still have them losing to OKC in the conference finals. So to answer the question of NBA finals, I have to say a resounding no, unlike my co-host. That's where I'm at.
Long-winded. That was a long path to a no.
Well, I know you are used to hearing no instantly off the rip, 3 seconds in, like, hey, can I? No.
That's crazy.
I like to make my message really hit and really deliver it in the way that it's supposed to be.
Okay, guys, let me tell you. So this guy's always losing the debates to me. So he always has to go for the personal attacks, the ad hominem attack. I don't stoop that low.
Call out one debate I've ever lost to. Call out one debate I've ever lost to. Never.
Oh, wait, what was the
Never.
last taping? 2 days ago? So, yeah.
Never.
4 debates you lost. And then we did a show 4 days before that, another 4 debates you lost. So,
bro,
that's the tracking anyway.
Bro, you tried to call Evan Mobley a top 15 player in the league.
I said what I said.
Yeah,
I don't walk it back. And the final thing, though, with the Thunder, we got to talk about the supporting cast didn't show up. I mean, we're not going to talk about that. Like, SGA and J-Dub both had phenomenal nights. Like, J-Dub way overperformed who he is as a player, okay? He
does this day in, day out.
Yeah, 30-piece day in, day out. Then he should be winning MVP.
He really liked that. He really liked that.
And then his three-point shooting, he's 4 of 8.
Yep.
Day in, day out, 4 of 8 from 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's better than your boy DFS at shooting.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
No, wait, no, he's not.
He's
not better. DFS is one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
Yeah, okay. I think I bring the segment to a close.
No, it doesn't,
obviously.
Bro. No, it doesn't. You have me going on a roll.
Yeah.
That's a cheap little shot.
Let's let the fans decide. Guys, let us know in the comments who won this segment. I mean,
they're going to let you know you're tripping.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
you're
find out.
You're tripping. That's what they're going to tell you.
Let the people talk.
Tired of hearing you talk. I know that.